Welcome to Over the Falls podcast with myself, Dave Lewis, Med Rendell, and Luke Dukes Jones. The premise for this podcast is to cut out the stigma that men don't talk, to try and support each other, sit down, chat, and try and put the world to right. Initially, we will be picking a subject at random, but as we go further along in the podcast series, we will be introducing guests from the local area, nationally, and who knows, even internationally. So here we go.
You can hear it in your headphones, yeah? Okay, good.
All right, here we go. Welcome to Over the Falls podcast number 8. In the studio today, we have Gavin Lewis, who swam the English Channel solo in September 2016, which took approximately 26 months of training.
Ooh.
And 15 hours and 38 minutes of swimming to get across the channel from England to France. So I want to start with, why did you want to do something on this scale, and specifically why the channel?
Why the channel? I think I first read about it in a newspaper about 25 years ago, and I think it sort of blew my mind that like someone could swim from England to France. I just thought it was like a sort of an incredible thing to do. I think just like a challenge as well, really.
Yeah.
It's a huge challenge.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah.
It's big. Like I couldn't do much sport 'cause I had a few sort of medical issues. So like swimming was the best thing for me because I couldn't sort of play at a later age. Couldn't play sort of football or rugby. So swimming was the route.
That's why swimming.
Yeah, that's the swimming the route I sort of took, really. Yeah. Why the channel? I think because it is a big challenge, and I think you're gonna sort of go for it. Like go for it best you can, really.
Did you think like swimming the channel straight away, or did you think I could swim like X amount of lakes, or like why was it?
Yeah,
Why was it the channel? Just because of that distance and
yeah, I think
possible,
so.
Like,
Yeah, because it was possible. I thought about it like years and years and years ago, but then I said I never did anything about it. But it's always in the back of my mind. And then I know a guy from Aber, Gareth Ravel, he did it as well. I can't remember, 2010, 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
And that sort of triggered it off again. Yeah, so...
Yes, yeah.
So, and he's a hell of a swimmer. I didn't heck of a swimmer. Yeah, so we just sort of carried on from that, really. And then it wasn't until 2014... Because so I wanted to do the swim, but I didn't do any swimming.
Mm-hmm.
Not since sort of school or sort of summer holidays. So I never really
So it wasn't
did
like a hobby of yours?
No, not at all.
Wow.
No, not at all.
Do you have your 50-metre badge?
Got that.
Good.
But that's the highest I
You
got.
need that, I think, to do it.
yeah. That's what you got to do to pass.
It turned up, you good?
Yeah, medal's good, yeah. Yeah, it's just went from there, really.
When was the point that you knew that you were going to do it? Do you know what I mean? So what year was it? Because I know you said you thought about it 25 years prior or a long time prior. Where was the point where you thought, I'm going to swim the channel?
2014, because I was working in Swansea.
Yeah.
At a job in Swansea. It wasn't a midlife crisis. It wasn't that extreme. If I look back now, it may well be. No, so in 2014, in a job, wasn't very happy with the job, and I had no real sort of direction in my life. I was just going to work, plodding, going home. That was all.
You needed a goal, maybe.
I need a goal.
Yeah.
I am the kind of person who needs a goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Next
Not-
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
aim for that.
Yeah, exactly. I think otherwise, sort of fester.
Yeah.
So 2014, that came back in my head again about swimming the channel, and then one morning got up, I think it was 4:30 in the morning, drove to Swansea, went to the swimming pool, got in there for 6,
Yeah.
did 750 metres, but it was like 100 metres swim and absolutely blowing after 4 lengths.
Oh,
I bet.
It's hard, swimming's really hard.
hard,
If you haven't done it for a long
difficult.
time, it's really hard, yeah. So did 4 lengths, blowing,
Mm.
and then did 750 metres, and then went home that night, looked at it, how to swim the channel, and then the following week I actually booked with the sort of pilot, the captain of the ship.
Did you book that
Bloody
online?
hell.
Was that like an
Online.
online thing you can book?
Yeah,
to
online,
swim the
yeah.
channel?
Yeah, so I didn't tell my wife, so I booked it
Add
first.
to
Then told my wife.
basket. One swam
Moved
down
out
in
of
swim, please.
Yeah.
Tell her the day before.
Yeah, exactly. By the way.
So after 750 metres in the pool, you book yourself on the channel as well.
Yeah.
I reckon if there's any like serious swimmers listening or watching this, will think you're absolutely nuts going
Yeah, I mean-
and doing And signing up to something like that after just doing however many lakes in the pool.
I don't think if they saw me swim that 750 metres, they'd think I'm nuts. Yeah.
He's doing doggy paddle.
Honestly,
He's not going very fast.
I look back and I remember women doing breaststroke looking at me as I'm swimming, and I didn't know why. Basically, because I was like, when you're swimming, you're supposed to sort of breathe out in the water and then breathe as your sort of arms going up. Yeah. But I wasn't doing that when I first started. I'd literally go in, making hell of a noise. I'd call it the whale, basically, because it sounded like a whale exhaling. Horrendous, yeah. So I was just all over the shop. Yeah, so that was booked it, and that was like my goal. I actually needed that. So, and then just started swimming, training. But I was only doing like 2-3 times a week.
Okay.
Because it was in Swansea, and it was an hour before work, because I was in work for 7:30.
Yeah.
And so you can only get an hour in.
Yeah.
And after a certain period of time, the hour's not enough.
Yeah,
so you got to do it, either do it before work. You can't go any earlier because it opens at 6. So you're governed by that. Or you go after work and you sort of build up the hours or the meters that way. But it was like 2 or 3 times a week for the first sort of 6 months, 9 months.
Did you have... So you were doing that on your own then, the training? You didn't have a coach or anything like that? You didn't have any sort of plan?
No whatsoever. Yeah, I think that's why I really struggled as well, because like I said, my swimming, breathing was all, literally, I know that now, I was all over the shop, so I had no coach. And because I wasn't in the sort of like swimming world or didn't know any swimmers, I was sort of, I found it hard to find a coach. And I've actually rung a couple of coaches up, said, look, this is who I am, I've got no experience, but this is what I want to do.
Yeah, okay.
And you could sense on the phone, I'm not really keen. They just weren't keen to get involved with it, and I'd arrange a meeting with them.
Why? Because of how big the task would have been to bring you through.
That's the impression I got.
You weren't, say, strong swimmer to start with, or whatever you want to call it.
Definitely, that's the impression I got from them.
Okay. That's a shame.
Yeah, and then I was literally just going on my own then, but there was no plan, so all I was doing was just swimming length after length after length.
Yeah.
Up to and kept building it up. And after sort of 9 months, the biggest one was like 8,000 metres in a pool.
Right, okay.
That's like with a 300 lengths. It's a long way.
It's a long way.
How long's a mile?
64 lengths.
64 lengths.
Yeah. Of a 50 metre.
25 metre pool.
25 metre pool.
Yeah, 64 lengths. Yeah. So, but like you say, it was just literally just going up and down, and every mile or 64 lengths, I'd have like a minute and a half break, have a breather, and then just go again.
Wow.
But it's boring as anything though, because you've got no one to talk to. It's on your own all the time. It's not as if you're running with someone on a bike or something. You are literally just head in the water, just look at the person next to you. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Do you remember the first time? So you obviously at the moment you're sort of in the pool and you're training, as Dave said. You haven't really got a coach at the moment.
Yeah.
When was the first time you did a swim? Say, I don't know, in a lake, in the sea, something that wasn't the pool, I suppose.
I was working I work in construction, so like a site manager, a project manager at that time, and I'd worked away a lot at that time as well, and I was in a place called Banbury, it's near Oxford.
Okay.
And so this was about 9 months into it, so it's 2015 now, probably April-ish time, 2015.
So were you hitting quite long lengths?
Yeah, it's big distances then. And I'd signed up for a swim called Bridge to Bridge, which is in London on the River Thames. It's from Henley to Marlow, which is 14 kilometres. So that was my first ever event. Yeah. And again, but they gave you a training plan, like an 8-week training plan. So I had a bit of a plan.
Competition
the event did, Yeah, so it was 9 months, and I was in Banbury. And I was on Twitter because I started a Twitter account for the swim. It was called One Big Swim. It was just to try and promote what I was doing, try and get. At that point, I was raising sponsorship for a guy.
That's it.
And then, so I was looking on Twitter, and just look at Twitter, someone would have retweeted something you find someone who was a coach.
Right.
And he lived about an hour and a half away from Oxford in Milton Keynes.
Yeah.
So I got hold of him, a guy called Mark Cleanthos. He got the world record for most triathlons. So he's competed in most triathlons in the world. Right. He's like a proper
experienced,
really experienced coach. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I spoke to him, rung him, a few emails, a few phone calls, and he said, "Right, let's meet up in near Milton Keynes." I can't remember the lake's called, but we met there. Mm-hmm. It turns out he wanted to meet me, get to know me, sort of, like, can this guy do it? So it's sort of sound me out.
Maybe a little bit.
As well.
His time is an effort as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So that was the first ever open water swim within a lake.
Right.
And it is so alien to you.
Yeah.
Because especially with, I've got goggles on, but in a pool you've got sort of the lane markers or the tiles. Yeah. There's like the white tiles, the black tiles,
you know
the floor.
Where you're going,
you know
area.
Yeah. in a lake or river, sea, if there's no sort of visibility, you have no idea where you are.
No bearings.
No bearings whatsoever. It's murky, it's brown, it's green, it's weed.
Especially lakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's minging. It's
You've got sediment and.
it's weird. It's so alien to you. And fair play, he took a few videos of me with my stroke and my breathing, my kicking, my sort of body angle, that sort of blah.
Yeah.
I know at that time I was doing like a mile in 36 minutes, which isn't great. So 36 minutes a mile. And so he sent me the video. He said, right, you've got to do this, your arms, this, your breathing, this for your legs, and then do a mile for me. And then tell me how fast it was. And I knocked 2 minutes off within a week. I'd knocked 2 minutes off a mile. So
of his tutoring.
Wow, just on the
amazing,
video.
that.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Wow.
Yeah, so we got on well, so he signed me up and paid X amount a month, and that would be a training plan. He'd give me like a week's in advance, so it'd be like a training plan for every day.
Okay.
And then there'd be a telephone conversation once a week as well. That was part of the summer.
Like a check-in.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Okay.
how you getting on? With the training going? Are you struggling with this or doing well on that? Yeah, so that was the first time. So I'm at Lake, and I coached from that point then. So it's probably April, May 2015.
Okay.
Had he ever trained someone just doing an open water swim? Because you said he's sort of done the most amount of triathlons. He's a serious coach, obviously, but had he ever trained someone for the channel first of all, or an open water swim?
Good question. Yeah, he did. I think he's done one or two, and I know he did after as well.
Cool.
He's done a few
Okay.
after since that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he hadn't done many before
No.
tutoring you or coaching you.
He did it. So he had done it, but he was more focused on the triathlon element of things.
Okay.
Because that's where his experience.
I think for him as a coach to have you on his books now as like a complete novice to become a channel swimmer, that's a hell of a thing to say. Look, what we did with Gav, for example.
Yeah, it's weird though because because no experience with swimming background, but his training was completely different to what I was doing. Because in my head, I'm swimming a long, long way.
Yeah.
So I should be swimming a long, long way in my training.
Right.
But his training was more like short,
build-up?
sharp.
Oh, okay.
But it was like
Like a hit thing. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
understand it all too much, but like
it's like a small warm up. I know 200 meter slow warm up, and then you do 4 sets of 400 meters, which is like 16 lengths.
Yeah.
For like 85%. So it goes 16 lengths, 85%. It goes almost as fast as you can.
Wow.
Oh, 85% like effort.
Of your effort,
sort of,
sorry, of your effort, yeah. Do that, have 40-second break, do it again, and you're doing that like 5-6 times, and you build it up over the months.
I guess that ups your cardio by
massively
doing that
so.
specific training. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. But
Okay.
in my head, it didn't make any sense
That
whatsoever.
wouldn't either. I would have been with you thinking, well, if I need to swim. So how long is the channel again?
If you go in a boat, point to point, 21 miles.
I do understand it's more than that though because of the the movement of the sea and stuff like that.
Yeah. If you've got a motor on your back, it's 21 miles in a straight line.
Yeah, but it's not 21. I bet you wish it was.
Oh, yeah.
You wish it was.
Yeah, so that was he sort of changed the whole philosophy for me, and like I don't know, that open water swim, that bridge to bridge Henley to Marlow swimmer mentioned I signed up for.
Yeah.
So we focused the training for that event.
How far was that?
I was 14k, so it's almost 8.5, 9 miles sort of thing.
Okay.
That's a hell of a distance.
Oh,
just that.
That's big.
Oh,
Isn't it,
yeah.
if you think
That was my
about
first
it?
event that as well, and it was actually really scary. That was really
I
scary
bet.
for me. Yeah.
How did
Hell of a
that
long way.
go?
It went alright, yeah.
Yeah.
The day before, because you sign up for these events, and I was in the queue talking to a guy, because there's different categories of racers or swimmers.
Yeah.
You have the green hats, which was sort of my sort of category.
Yeah.
There's the sort of the slower ones, and
Yeah.
then the blue hats, which are good swimmers, and then the pink hats are just like human torpedoes, like they're just literally
Elite.
so
They
fast.
do it for a living maybe, or they're
Fast. There'll be
just...
some elite swimmers in there, but they're
Yeah.
just naturally very good swimmers. And I was signing up, and there was this guy next to me, and he was in the green hat sort of category with me as
Yeah.
well. And I started chatting to him, and he was saying about his training. He said, "Yeah, I've just done loads of 10Ks, I'm really up for it." And I was thinking, "Well, I haven't done any of that."
Yeah.
Any of
start
that.
thinking,
Yeah, totally did.
The demons started
Totally-
creeping in,
totally
didn't they?
did, yeah,
Well, so just before the event, he was telling you about how much he'd done, and then
Yeah,
he
much
went.
done, and he's done
Boom.
loads of long distances as
Have you
well.
been doing sort of sprints, like long sprints?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That's exactly like when you go in for an exam in school and someone tells just before you go in they go, "Oh yeah, like I've been revising like all of this." And
Exactly,
you're like,
yeah.
I haven't revised any of that.
Exactly, yeah. Your head's
done any of
gone.
that.
You've
Yeah.
almost lost the battle before you
Yeah.
get in the water.
Yeah.
It's that
Oh,
exam.
it's not good.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
horrible actually. And then I got a funny story I can tell on camera though, but the night before, but I probably won't go into that. But food poisoning, actually.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did you really?
It was like a scene I've done that.
Yeah, go for it. You
Do
do
it.
it. Yeah.
What did you eat the night before then?
I went to an establishment where they got all that buffet salad in the middle.
Name and shame them. Go for it.
Oh, you know that. Yeah. So just loaded myself up of that, and then driving to the hotel, I literally thought I was going to give birth. It was horrendous.
No.
Yeah, I had massive
Problems.
D&V.
Problems. Yeah. Problems for about 4 or 5 hours. I thought this is bad.
Perfect just before the swim.
Great. Yeah. So my training's wrong, and I got the shits.
God.
Stuff like that always seems to be on well, it's never going to be a good time, but it's always at a bad time, or it seems like it's always at a bad, and that's like a terrible time for you.
Pretty bad time.
So your sleep was probably terrible.
Yeah.
Do you ever wonder if that's linked? Like a bit of anxiety?
Probably.
Maybe. Or it's just sod's law.
It
just seems like when you really don't need something in your life, sometimes that happens. As long as it doesn't, as long as this doesn't happen, it'll happen.
Can I just not have the shit?
Yeah.
Just this one night.
I'm wearing a wetsuit tomorrow. Don't want it. So that was the first event, and it went well. So it was the training sort of. I really bought into the training then.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So it was good because bizarrely the green hat category actually came first in that.
Oh.
Blew my mind. Yeah,
And also, you beat that guy who was making you a little bit worried by saying, I've done plenty of 10K. So at least you knew that your coach was correct in doing what he was doing.
Amazing.
And then
you know what I mean?
when that happened, you sort of bought into it so much. Fair play, right? My coach actually turned up as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
To watch you in that event.
Yeah.
No, good on him.
Again,
Hats off to him.
Yeah, honestly, brilliant. Because
good support.
The 10s, you have to get out certain locks, get out of the lock, run round, and jump back in. And he was actually out one of the locks on his bike.
Oh,
again, fair play to him. He didn't have to do that.
I'm guessing you weren't the only person on his books then.
I mean, not me. Exactly.
You know what I mean? So he might have been training, say, 3 other people for triathlons.
Quite well.
So fair play to him.
Exactly.
So it was good. Yeah. So and again, from that point there, you think actually, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So really, really bought into his philosophy. Then it's hard though, really, really hard. Sort of training.
I think I've got a question about training. So what was the hardest part of the training leading up to the big one? What would you say, mentally, physically?
Oh, both. I think. I know you mentioned your Ironman is just relentless because you're swimming. There's no, you do it 6 days a week, could be twice a day, and weights, whatever. There's no rest for your arms, your shoulders, your back.
So your body can't recuperate too much?
Not at all. No. So physically, it's just brutal and. Yeah, so there's no rest. I was having physio regular, I was having sports massage regular.
Yeah.
Costs a fortune. Like you're paying for all these things.
I can imagine.
Memberships, your training, all these events you're doing, the physio and all the injuries you get. It costs an absolute fortune. But
and booking the swim is
booking the
quite
swim
expensive as well.
Yeah, booking the swim. So physically, just drained the whole time. And sort of you get up, you think about swimming, just eating food all the time. If I go to work, I'd before going home, I'd go swimming.
Wow.
I'd go home, and then my wife, fair play, she was there from the beginning, and she'd have the food ready for me. I'd eat my food.
She prepped it and everything.
Yeah, I just literally sleep on the sofa watching TV, no conversation.
That's the...
Yeah, literally like that. Literally
Wow.
like that. It's just,
And you're working.
And you're working.
Yeah.
It's not like you're an elite athlete. No. You're basically going out, you're doing your day job, and you're doing this either side of work.
Yeah.
I was gonna that was my question, really linked in there. Like, how did you balance all that? Like, were you aware of almost the cost to other people and your job and yeah,
definitely. I think cost to the relationship was massive. We got married in 2013 and then started training in 2014.
And the early doors in your marriage-ish then.
Yeah. We didn't have any children. We were trying children, so I had that pressure. Well, it's not pressure, but you got that in the back.
I understand what you mean.
It is a pressure.
It's something that you want when you're trying, I suppose. So it is an added pressure, I would say.
Yeah. And like my sole focus was just the swim the whole time. It definitely affected my work because you're just tired the whole time.
Hard not to, I suppose.
On the crane, that.
You're honestly just tired. Tired all. Yeah, genuinely just tired all the time. Hungry all the time. I know you guys, but when I'm hungry, I just my logic, my sense, my thinking is just gone.
Do you get hangry as well?
Yeah, massively so.
Yeah, because like if I was all the time hungry inside, which can be a little bit because I've got 2 children, young children, but just turns you into like a bit of a worse person, doesn't it? I know it does with me. When I'm hangry, like short-tempered, snappy, irritable, tired, and like you're just the worst version of yourself in a way, or I know I am.
And that's sort of near the sort of tail end. I was swimming so much, I'd have a box of monkey nuts in the car. I'd go off site, eat the monkey nuts, just keep me going.
Energy.
Lunchtime then, because we were near sort of like a pizza place, all you can eat. I was having pizza, all you can eat, probably twice a week, easy twice a week.
Good grief.
Yeah, just to sort of keep me going.
The thing is, though, the calories must be burning swimming.
Oh, massive.
I bet you're just
Massive,
literally just
yeah.
doing up
Yeah,
and down
yeah,
all
top
day
up,
with
yeah.
it. aren't
Yeah.
you?
Do
Just
you remember the
topping up.
calories when you're training, how much you needed to get in you?
If it was a tough swim, as in tough training, between like 400 and 900 an hour, you're burning off.
Right, but
Yeah.
do you remember how many you had to consume in a day, say?
No, I wasn't.
Do you know what I mean?
No, it's just.
I bet it was a lot though, because
Yeah.
normally you're meant to have, what, I don't know, 2,500
Yeah.
roughly, aren't
Yeah,
you? I'm
yeah,
sure
yeah.
you've far exceeded that.
I
with your
did,
training
yeah.
and everything.
Couldn't tell you the exact, but I know the burning off. It'd say on my Garmin that you've burnt off X amount in that
Yeah.
swim.
That's a
But
lot.
yeah, I should have to sort of really keep up with that. Yeah, so it was just food, tired, and definitely stress in the relationship.
Yeah.
And mentally, yeah, it really sort of affected me mentally because it's just on your mind the whole time.
Yeah.
Whole time. I know you were saying you're getting upset and.
Yeah, but you said that you. I'm not sure if you mentioned it. I know this anyway, but you were raising money as well, weren't you?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a guy, not funny I've talked, but when I started my training, a guy who was playing for Cardiff Blues, Owen Williams, he played in Singapore and he went to tackle on damage of spinal cord.
Okay.
So, poor guy, Welsh international, Cardiff Blues, really good player. So unfortunately he's sort of lost the use of his legs now.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to, because I like the Blues, like rugby, watching rugby, etc. So I wanted to sort of raise money for his sort of appeal. It's called Stay Strong for Rose.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to sort of automatically presume that the Blues or Owen and his family what we do. I contacted the Blues and they said, yeah, go for it, we'll support you.
Yes.
So that was good. So it was really good, but I had that pressure as well because every now and again the Cardiff Blues would tweet something.
And then you're like, oh, yeah. Can't pull out of this.
No,
Like even.
no, you're right.
Yeah.
100%,
Yeah.
100% right. You can't pull out of it.
No, like,
a
and
massive
that would freak me out.
Yeah.
I think it's good and bad because
Yeah.
for me, I'd think sometimes it's like signing up to an event, say really, really early.
Yeah.
You feel like, right, you've done it now.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's that push maybe
Relax,
sometimes
yeah.
you need. I know that's quite extreme
No,
with,
you're right
with the Cardiff Blues, but
No,
I
you're
think
right.
I think the type of person I am, I'd probably need a bit of a push to get me there or something like that. But then you're right, it can probably work for you and maybe work against you because of the pressure.
Yeah, it's huge pressure. Later on, like a couple of the players tweeted a few times. Honestly, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Because it created a lot of publicity for it. But you think, Jesus, there's some big names there, and there's sort of quite a big sort of audience there, sort of attracting.
Yeah.
And as much as I liked people knowing I was doing it, I didn't like people knowing I was doing
Yeah,
it.
you just want to get it done. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
In your head, I'm sure you just were like, I just want to get this done and complete it.
Exactly.
And,
I almost stay anonymous, but raise the money if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I was always under the impression that you did it for that reason, like for O's.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I until literally just now.
In the back of my head, it was going to be for a charity, but I didn't have a charity
In mind.
You just wanted to do it, and then that happened to come
Yes.
along and coincide.
Yeah. So it worked out in that way. Yeah. So so that was it was difficult in that sense. Yeah.
Because that's one of my questions. Is basically you had that on your shoulders as well. It's like a pressure and a motivator, I guess, isn't it? It's a bit of a mix of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And
I bet it would hit on different days. Like, I can't put out, or let's do it.
Yeah.
You can't pull out. Well, there's reasons you can't do it because the sort of order of swimming challenge. You sort of right. I'm going to do it. You contact a pilot. They call them pilots, the captain of the boat. So right, are you free on this date
this
in 2
window,
years' time? So yes, I am. This is the window. So I contacted in June 2014. I'm free. He said I'm available 2016, and your window is 1st to the 4th of September.
Right.
That's your tide window.
Right. Okay.
So you booked. You're in. But anything could go wrong. The weather could change.
Yeah.
So
Something could happen to him as well.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's all finished. So you do that. You do all your training, and then there's a medical you got to do, and there's a 6-hour sort of qualification you got to do. So they're the things that can stop you as well.
Who governs that aspect of it? Like,
There's 2 different
why can't
authorities.
why can't you just go and swim? Like,
Well, because in theory, you're entering another country as well, aren't you? You're
yeah,
almost an illegal,
that,
you're an
yeah.
immigrant to a certain extent. You are.
You're just
You are
going,
travelling
yeah.
another country, yeah.
And there's boats and
Massively so,
vessels
yeah.
and
Yeah.
things
Huge
going
shipping.
everywhere,
Yeah.
isn't there?
Isn't it?
So there's two different authorities. You've got the CSA, which is the Channel Swimming Association, and the CSPF, Channel Swimming and Piloting Federation. So they're two avenues you can go. Offers similar sort of things, but I went with the CSPF. And on their website, they've got different sort of captains, boats, and you just sort of like, this is the boat. Oh, I like the look at that boat. It's just like, look at him.
Yeah.
Looks a cool boat.
Yeah.
Are you free? Yeah, I'm free. Right, pay deposit. That's your £350, whatever deposit. You know. And then so you got to do a medical. You got to do a swim assessment, and you have to do if you're doing a solo, you have to do a 6-hour swim assessment. That's 6 hours non-stop swimming with a boat next to you and they feed you, etc.
Wow.
In the sea or in a lake? Or?
It could be lake, it could be a sea, but the temperature has to be 16 degrees or below.
To mimic the
Mimic,
swim.
yeah.
Right, to do it from that aspect of it,
That's
see
it,
if you could like contend with the cold
Yeah,
or whatever.
exactly.
No wetsuit, isn't it?
That's it, yeah. So,
Do you want to?
Yeah.
So the initial 6 hours swimming you had to do then.
yeah,
Where was that?
that was in Windermere.
Okay.
Yeah, so
And then how did that go the first time?
very badly.
Very bad.
I feel like Dave might have known that.
No, yeah. There's a reason for the questioning because obviously, if you don't know, Gab is my brother, so I was kind of.
Yeah.
I heard all about all this journey all the way, obviously.
There's a lot to that point as well, but
Yeah.
so you have to do a 6-hour swim assessment.
Yeah.
So after that bridge to bridge swim, where I sort of did well in the green category, I thought, right, I got a bit cocky. So I thought, right, I'll do the 6-hour swim assessment soon. Because I did plan to do it in 2016.
How soon? Not like the next day.
No, it was about, so that was August, the bridge to bridge, and then the only available slot they had in Windermere was October, which is a bit too late really. It was the last one of the year.
Okay.
So
Quite cold as well.
Yeah.
I imagine.
Getting there.
Yeah, in October.
yeah. So went up to Windermere with my wife, stayed there the night before, nice hotel. Got up in the morning, and the guy, he was like really well known guy, Colin Hill. He sort of was involved with the British Olympics, and it's his business.
Okay.
So he turned up.
Okay.
And he's known for he's like an ice swimmer. So he'll go to like Russia and Norway and swim a mile in the water.
Okay.
He's like a hell of a swimmer. Hell of a swimmer.
Okay.
So he turned up, he's massive bloke, with like huge shoulders, but like a human triangle sort of thing.
The swimming physique.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
massive. He's big. Like, he turns up like in the morning. I think it's like a Saturday morning, and it's a cold morning. You can see the mist over the lake. He turns up in his coat, his hat, all of it. I think it must be cold out there. So your head's already gone at that point. And he takes me down the lake, and my wife's there. So they're in the boat, and I'm in my trunks.
Yeah.
Get in the water, and they think, oh my god, it is cold. So I'm swimming, and you have to swim for 6 hours. And half an hour, I'm looking watching, I'm actually in a bit of trouble here. It is really, really cold. It's mist. It's like a horror film. There's like a mist over the lake. Can't really see anything. And I'm just swimming. Right, every half hour, I get a bit of warm water into me because my wife's like on the boat.
Yeah.
Chucks like a little flask top, drink the water.
Yeah.
And keep going. And then I'm getting colder and colder and colder, and like at the end, my hands are sort of clawing up.
How far into the swim were you?
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
Yeah.
And so hour and a half, and I just started bobbing. And fair play, he said, right, that's it.
Yeah.
Dragged me out, sped me to this hotel where we were staying.
Yeah.
Like a spa there. He frogged, because I was in a bit of a mess, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It wasn't hypothermic, but he's close to it.
Yeah, you can see it getting really cold. And
Yeah. So he frog marched me into the pool. He chucked me into the pool. It just walked past reception.
Oh my god! Yeah. We'll pay in a minute.
Yeah, hang on.
We'll come
Chucked
back.
me in the pool, and then left there 10 minutes. The pool felt like a blooming hot tub. So
Okay,
it felt
yeah.
so warm.
in comparison
Yeah.
to when you're like,
Yeah. And then put me in the hot tub, and then into the sauna. Just sort of thaw me out.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was a massive fail. So that really put me back. Knocked my confidence up.
yeah, a bit mentally, and
Massive
it
so,
would have
yeah.
knocked your confidence to
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
How could you progress from that though? Like, because you didn't do the 6 hours.
No. So I thought I'd probably go back to that. I got a medical issue.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that to
Yeah.
circle back to that, but if you're
Yeah.
happy to,
Yeah, no, it's fine.
to talk about
Yeah,
that issue,
yeah, it's
now,
fine.
that'd be great.
So you said earlier on about sports, so stop playing rugby and football
Yeah.
and stuff, because like it's a rare thing. It's called absent infrarenal inferior vena cava. So basically, there's a section of vein missing from there to there, so the blood doesn't flow from my heart to my body as well as it should.
Well, okay.
So, for instance, if I'm running, I can't run for more than 5 minutes because like the blood goes in my legs. And it feels as if my legs are sort of that big.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like massive pin needles, like as in really excruciating, and goes up to my hips, up to my belly there. So it feels as if it sort of stops there. It's like really uncomfortable.
Wow.
So that's why I stopped playing football and rugby.
Yeah.
My circulation's quite badly affected as well. So I think that's why I get cold a lot as well.
Oh, it makes total
Yeah,
sense.
it's probably affecting your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why swimming was good for me because I'm horizontal.
Yeah.
So
right.
I can swim and swim and swim. I don't have that sensation in my legs because I'm not vertical.
Yeah.
I'm not running.
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
Swimming's a perfect sport for you.
perfect sport for me.
Yeah.
Perfect sport for me.
Apart from maybe.
Cold water.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like, it's perfect as long as you're not in really cold water. Or
Bahamas,
something.
no sharks, that sort of thing, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then it's good.
But everyone's got their niche, haven't they? That's
Yeah,
yours.
exactly, 100%.
Yeah.
Found yours the hard way.
Yeah. So then, so I failed that massively. I spoke to my coach about it, and I think from that point, I thought I got to make a decision. I want to do it because I had that pressure behind me, knowing that sort of the blues behind
Yeah.
me, and I'm trying to raise money, so I can't pull out.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do it I'm gonna do it in a wetsuit.
Yeah.
So the only thing about that is that if you're doing a wetsuit, you're not. If you get across the channel, you're not a channel swimmer. You've swum the channel, but you're not a channel swimmer.
Wow.
It's absolutely crazy though, isn't it? Because
okay,
I mean, it's
got
not
you.
like
Yeah.
one of us three could put on a wetsuit and just start swimming across the channel. It's crazy that
Yeah.
you don't get...
What does it add? It just keeps
It's
you warm.
yeah,
right?
it's
Well, quite buoyant.
buoyant,
as well.
yeah. And
Yeah, but hardly anything.
No, but the
It's
first
hard, yeah.
person who did it is I can't remember the name.
I looked it up. It wasn't
Matthew
it
Webb.
like 18
1875,
75. I did look
I
at
think
it.
Matthew Webb. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he did it in a pair of shorts, a pair of trunks. So
Did he
trying
put
to
loads,
mimic,
did he put loads of
grease
fat
fat or so trying to mimic that.
Right.
So everyone now is based on that first
So it
attempt.
goes
Okay.
back to that
Yeah,
original
that's
thing
it, yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah,
Right,
so you
I got
can't wear a
it.
wetsuit, can't touch a boat,
Yeah.
all sorts of sort of things you can't do. But
Yeah.
so that was the point, right? So if I'm going to do it, I'm going to try it with a wetsuit.
Yeah.
So trains are training a bit in terms of everything's with a wetsuit now.
Yeah.
But again, I sort of settled on that. I said I'm going to do it, so just keep training and just do it. At least you get across. You can say you've done it as such. So you're not in the record books.
To be fair, a lot of people could have said, well, okay, well that's it then, I can't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty commendable that you went, do you know what, I'm going to find another way then.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
I guess you had your you had your out that you could have
Yeah.
taken
Yeah.
on almost like a medical thing as well that you could have opted out, but you said no. So
Persevered.
that's pretty good, yeah.
I still had that out though because I hadn't passed the medical at that point.
I was going to ask that. How did you get through that medical then with
That was
your medical?
massively hard. That was because my doctor wouldn't do it. So I run loads of private doctors and none of them would do it.
None of them would do it at all.
None of them would do it.
Right.
Didn't
Based on
yeah,
that
based on them didn't know me. They weren't specialists in this condition. 'Cause I used to see a guy in London. I used to go to guys in St Thomas's Hospital once a year for checkups. So he was a specialist in sort of this area. So these doctors I approached weren't specialists. So I'm saying months of ringing doctors, and they just my head's gone by that point as well.
Oh,
And your training.
Yeah.
And the training, still training, yeah.
So it wasn't a case of like, it wasn't as simple as booking the lake swim again, but you could do it in a wetsuit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
in order to get that
could,
bit
yeah.
done. But the medical thing.
Didn't matter what order you did it in.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So that was October, failed the swim, and then
Yeah.
it took me then probably till March, April to find someone. And that was like pure fate, that was. So I was looking to do the 6-hour swim, but then I can't remember how I found this guy, but he had a company called Swim Quest, and they do swim events, holidays, around the world.
Okay,
Really nice guy, John Collingham Rose, really nice guy. And they also do a channel training week in Formentera, which is the Balearics, just off Ibiza.
Yeah.
It's just south of Ibiza, Formentera. And so I've been in communication with him, so look, I want to sign up to your swim week, but I can't find a doctor to sign me off. And he said, fine, just keep in touch, blah, blah. And this is over a few months we were sort of chatting.
Yeah.
And it got to, I think, March. This is exactly how happened this is. It's not a lie. It got to March, I was in bed at night, and I'd sort of exhausted all possibilities of getting a medical.
Yeah.
So I actually emailed the captain of the boat, a guy called Eddie Spelling. I said, Eddie, look, I can't get a doctor. It looks as if I'm going to have to sort of knock us in the head.
Right.
Really, this is like 10:30 at night. I was so pissed off about it all.
bet,
yeah.
Oh my
really
God.
angry. My head had gone at that point.
Yeah.
Still training, working away as well.
Yeah,
Blah, blah.
yeah.
Sent the email, and honestly, 10 minutes later, I had an email come in from this guy, John Colin Rolls,
Yeah.
who owns Swimcare. He said, Gav, I found a doctor for you. She's in London. She'll see you next week.
Oh,
man.
What?
Had you sent that email to the?
I sent the email.
That's
Just
so-
Did you have to send a double email going,
Yeah,
hang on?
yeah, don't read it.
Hold right. Hang on.
Don't read it, don't read it.
cancel that. We might be good.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And yeah, so he emailed this doctor's details. She's a swimmer.
Oh,
Based in
This
London.
woman in London.
This woman's she's a swimmer,
Yeah.
based in London. She'll see you next week. So I emailed her that night, and then she emailed me next morning. Yeah, see you on Tuesday, whatever it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But a
It's
day off.
incredible.
Went to London, did the medical, and she'd spoken to a specialist in guys at St Thomas's about the
Your condition,
blah
yeah.
blah blah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, can't see a problem with it.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
Great
Sign me
doctor.
off.
Yeah.
Done. Happy.
Amazing.
So yeah.
so it was on.
It's on. Yeah.
So
yeah,
you
it's on.
found your coach randomly. From
Randomly.
Just Twitter.
Yeah.
And then you found this.
Just fate. Unbelievable.
That's
absolutely
Unbelievable.
meant to do it, alright?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Wow.
And so passed it, booked on then with this John out in Formentera for a week. Sort of did the sort of 6 hour, build you up over a week sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just absolutely amazing. He's sort of there with other swimmers trying to do the same thing as well.
Yeah.
Better temperature.
Same, it was April
Oh,
time.
it's got to be in the same
yeah,
margin, isn't
yeah,
it?
16
Oh,
degrees,
yeah.
yeah.
16 or lower, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, amazing, absolutely amazing. So there for a week, really, really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Proper intense training.
Yeah.
Just there's 4 of us there. Yeah, some mega swimmers there, sort of thing, trying to train for it. And yeah, it was good. And sort of passed the 6 hour assessment. It was obviously,
So you're in.
yeah, it's funny though, because there was
Tick.
Yeah.
4 of us there in the course, quite a small course, it was quite good.
Yeah.
So there's a husband and wife, and so the wife basically sitting around a table first day, trying to introduce yourselves and that sort of palaver, just icebreakers. So the lady said, "Oh, my name's Vanessa, and I've swum the channel in a relay with a so you can do a solo swim or a relay.
Okay.
So we could all do it. So
Okay.
like, you
Is
swim-
it normally 4 people, or does it
Could
matter
be
on
4,
the
I think
numbers?
it's
Or?
4, 8. something
Right,
like that
okay,
numbers,
yeah.
So like you can swim for an hour.
Yeah.
And you get out, I get in.
Yeah.
I get out, you get
And
in.
then you
blah,
keep
blah.
going.
continuously
going,
rotating
yeah.
that, yeah. Got
So
you.
she'd done it a few years ago, and so she was there for her 2 hour swim assessment, which you need for the sort of relay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the next guy, I can't remember his name unfortunately, but he'd summited 6 of the 7 highest mountains in the world.
Wow.
Wow.
He's only got Everest next, which he's training for next year. And I think, what? And the guy next to her, a guy called Boris, was actually this woman's husband. He was the chairman of the CSPF, who I'd signed up with.
Oh,
which is
yeah.
Just again, unbelievable
Well,
luck.
that's that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable luck. He's swum the Channel 4 times, and he'd done the Oxford to Cambridge boat race 3 times.
Oh my god.
I'm
It's an
literally
absolute machine.
sinking in my chair.
I am Gav.
I'm from Cardiff.
I
was
started
just-
swimming about a year ago. I trained in Porthcawl. Yeah, so it was good. It was good. So I did the 6 hour, and then that was it. That was sort of
What a group
you
of
good.
people.
Honestly,
One of the last things to check off the
That was
list
it.
before you can actually
Yeah.
go and do it, or wait for that date, train for that date.
That's it. Yeah. So that was you've done everything you can. There's nothing that can stop you other
No,
than
this is it.
doing it. Which again adds a bit of pressure, but it's a relief as well though. So it was good. Yeah. So that was
So how long did you have between the 6 hour completion and
the actual swim.
Yeah.
So that was April time.
so April, May, June, July, August, September? That year was it?
Yeah, that year. Yeah. So it was that
5,
6, 7 months.
6 months.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. So it was sort of all guns blazing from that point.
So those as you can see the clock was counting down then, leading up to that
Yeah.
particular date.
Yeah.
Physically, you were probably in the best shape of your life, I guess.
Yeah.
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 Mentally,
Worst shape of my life.
worst.
Oh, 100%, yeah. 100%. I was well, I was having sort of recurring nightmares. Two recurring nightmares, and my wife doesn't know this, but the one nightmare was I'd be swimming through a channel, it'd be dark night, and I'd just get lost at sea. And she'd wake up sort of having, like, it's almost like a panic attack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
And the other one was I'd be playing rugby, like in the change room after, and Owen Williams, the guy who got hurt.
Yeah, yeah.
We walk on the change room holding his neck.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm talking to him, I say, look, just check it out. There's something wrong with that, just check it out. And it's literally as if I was there. Like, it's so clear.
That's such a strange
Yeah,
thing, isn't it?
I kept telling him, just check it out, and then that'd be recurring. But the one, it's a bit embarrassing, but the one where I was having sort of the lost at sea dreams,
Yeah.
I'd be waking up, like literally in a panic. I'd be like soaking wet with sweat.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'd actually like piss myself as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that happened like 4 or 5 times.
That's so that must have been so strong, like to do that to your body physically, like
Yeah.
the mind. And
Oh yeah, it is.
That's,
Shows
It's
what
embarrassing,
the sort
but-
of strains
No, it's
you
not.
were under, mate. It's definitely
don't worry
not
about
embarrassing.
Yeah,
No.
It's just like all the strains you're probably under,
Yeah.
and obviously it's such a huge thing to try and do. And like I understand that the swim it takes so long that you probably are going to do part of that swim
Yeah.
where it is quite dark,
That's
isn't
it,
it?
yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
thinking of all these things, and yeah,
No, it's
and
horrible.
you'd
Yeah,
have to piss in your wetsuit as well.
yeah,
Definitely.
Well,
Yeah.
exactly. But I guess that, like we said before, we're no psychologists in here, but I think the pressure, the anxiety, the stress, everything that you've got going on, it must
Yeah,
have
it's
been. Your
100%.
body was just like,
everyone has a breaking point.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you have to
And
go
you just-
through a lot of stress and stuff like that.
Yeah, so that was probably June time. I think that was the lowest point for me, sort of mentally, and so I sort of made an appointment to speak to. She's a sort of psychologist, hypnotherapist, and so I had about probably 8-10 sessions with her.
Okay.
That helped a lot.
Yeah, I'm really
So
glad you
Is
did
she
that.
is
yeah.
she like sort of a sports psychologist,
No.
or is it something different to that? You know?
She did see sports men and women,
Yeah.
but a lot of it was hypnotherapy for me, just trying to sort of control my thoughts to a certain extent.
Got you.
Sure.
She was
Got
sorry,
you.
like, trying to picture the negative, and
Yeah.
then she'd sort of like click her fingers, right, change that thought, picture the positive,
Right.
and she'd give me like
Can you give an example of that? Like,
yeah, I'm interested in
yeah.
that.
So one of the examples she had is like, what's the negative thought you've got? And the negative thought I had was I'd be swimming on the boat, and you'd be on the boat, my wife, my dad, and it was almost like a picture. You looking at me, and just complete horror on your face,
Okay.
on everyone's faces. That was my sort of negative thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she'd like, when I click my fingers, I want you to change that thought into something positive, and it'd be the positive thought was with me walking onto the French beach with my arms in the air.
Yeah,
and you're-
finishing,
you're
amazing.
clapping
Yeah.
in your hands.
Yeah.
So that was her choice. So I'd be on her sofa.
Yeah.
She'd have the music in the background, talking quietly to me, trying to sort of calm me. I'd like literally I'd have tears coming down my face while she's talking to me, because it's just a sort of release
Yeah, of course.
of
Yeah.
sort of just worry, I suppose.
Yeah.
So I spoke to her, and then it helped no end. And she gave me like a CD of sort of calming. I don't know how to explain it. It's her talking. It's almost like a hypnotherapy on the CD.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So 'cause I was
Yeah.
having trouble sleeping as well because of it. And so she said, right, put it on your CD player at night.
Yeah.
Put your earphones in, it'll help you sleep. And I'm not, no word of a lie, within 2 minutes of this on, you're
You're
gone.
gone.
That's incredible. that
You're
is.
gone.
Yeah.
Love it.
You're gone. It is
So it helped
incredible.
immensely
Massively
then
so,
talking
yeah.
to this woman.
Yeah, and then when I got closer again, I'm still really struggling with it. Just the sort of enormity of it all. Cause, yeah, I'd be lying in bed at night, and I used to watch a lot of videos, some motivational videos, just sort of try and focus you. And I'd just be crying in bed, just watching these videos, and I don't know, I want to do it, but I don't want to do it. So
Of
so
course, yeah, of course.
scared.
I bet.
I was so scared by the end. Yeah.
I bet.
And yeah, it just overwhelming sort of fear. It was fear at the end. Just the unknown. of what you
Rationality
can-
goes out the window,
It does,
too, doesn't it? 'Cause
massively so.
You know, logically, you're going to have a boat next to you with people who are going to save you, and they're not
Yeah.
going to let you go off course. You know all this.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you know, if you struggle completely and you just give up, like no one's going to say, "Oh, you fucking wimp, you didn't
Yeah.
do it." You know, no one. But all that goes out your head.
Yeah,
It's just like it hits you different.
It does. Yeah. But if that happened, if I didn't do it, I don't know how I deal with it.
Yeah.
If I didn't sort of make it across that day.
Well, from what I know about you, like in our lives, I would imagine you'd go again.
That's the problem. That's the problem. I would
Yeah,
have done
I'd
it
imagine
again.
you'd do it
And then
again.
another 2
Yeah.
years of our
Yeah.
lives.
And then like a strain on your marriage.
Massively so.
Just a drain on yourself.
It is,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
It is,
Potential for kids and all
Yeah,
that sort of
honestly,
Yeah.
we actually I got to a point because we were again trying for kids. I said, look, I can't. I can't do it. I can't focus on that. I got to focus on this.
Yeah,
so
I've got this one goal in mind.
I stopped that as well.
Yeah.
So it's with my wife, and fair play, she accepted it. But it's a big thing that.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But like you said, I would have done it again, and that would have affected it, like you just said, then massively. So, yeah. So again, I saw someone else as well, another guy. I know you talked about it, the chimp paradox.
Well, you were the one who introduced me to it.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Well, it's because I contacted the Blues. I said, look, I'm really struggling mentally with this. Is there anyone you could help me with?
Yeah.
I'm going to name drop now, but fair play. The woman I spoke to contacted Sam Warburton, who played the Blues, and various other people, and he got hold of his sports psychologist.
Yeah.
And we met in a sort of hotel cafe, just had a chat with him for sort of half an hour. And he introduced me to the chimp paradox. And the way he explained it to me is that if you're sitting in a cafe and you just have a cup of tea and there's a bang outside, or an explosion outside, not a bang, it's the chimp part of your brain will get it, think, wow, what the hell is that? Gotta go, sort of thing. But the human part of your brain will look out, someone's tyre has just blown, just chill out.
Yeah.
And he was saying, like, this is the way you got to try to control that chimp element of your brain.
The chimp being all the negative thoughts.
Negative, he's always there. The chimp is always there. You just got to sort of control or exercise that chimp.
Yeah.
Because otherwise he's like the evil.
He's like the demon on
yeah,
the shoulder as opposed to...
You can't do this. Or that's bad. You've got to control it.
Yeah.
And he said, like, just picture the chimp, name the chimp, he's your mate, just he's there with you.
I was going to ask you this because I read the, I think it was a Wales Online story, and I watched the video, and I think I must have seen it when you originally did this, so was it 2015 or whenever it was, but I haven't watched it or read it since, and hopefully when this goes out we'll put a link to that Wales Online thing, and I read it all.
Yeah, thanks.
And and you named the chimp Brian, didn't you? And why is there any reason why? Because that was one of my questions. These guys had really good questions, right? And they're asking me, right, got some questions for Gav, right? And I was like, well, to be honest with you, I'm a bit tired and stuff like that. It's obviously young children and life and everything you go through and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I do want to know why you called that chimp Brian. So I had that one question ready for you, you know?
Genuinely, right?
Yeah.
At the time, I was watching a lot of Family Guy.
Oh, yeah.
The dog, dog, is it?
And he was the first name that came to my head. Oh no, he just asked me on the spot, like, name him, Brian. But generally, he said it's a chimp, right? But from that very second, the vision I got in my head of my chimp is, you know, Teen Wolf, Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
You know, he's playing basketball.
Yeah.
Got his whatever shorts on, vest
Remember
on,
that? Those
headband on.
Yeah.
That's my chimp. He's in the water next to me swimming. That's what I'm looking at.
Brian.
That's what I'm. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah.
He's in that high school basketball top, furry as
it.
hell.
That's him.
Surfing on top of the lorry or the truck.
Yeah. So he's my chimp. So he's sort of talking to all the time. Yeah.
And did that help? Well, I'm assuming did you read the chimp paradox, or you just listened to what he had to tell you about it?
I didn't think I needed to, because that resonated with me so much. Actually, that I right. Yeah.
So the idea is that's in that book.
It's a lot of sense. In that hour conversation, he talked a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes with me, I can overload my brain and I won't remember half of it.
Yeah.
But if someone tells me something like that, I think, I can understand that. I'll sort of relate to that and use that. Yeah, I think sometimes I just take a snippet which works for me, and then move on with it. So I didn't read the book. I still never have. I got it in my house. Read about 20 pages, about 4 or 5 times.
I've got the book in my house because I think Dave recommended it to my partner. I think it was. So she bought the book.
Yeah.
And it's in the house, and I also haven't read it, but I am going to read it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I read the same 20 pages about 4 or 5 times. Go to bed, read a page, like, tired.
I can't read
Life
shit.
I'm
terrible. I have to Audible.
Same.
Or you can do. You can get it on audiobook. I'm assuming.
I will.
But I quite like reading a book. I do. But it's life just tends to get in the way sometimes of like the time. But I'd love to think like by a pool, have a couple of hours to read that book. But that doesn't. It doesn't always happen that way. No. But I do quite like reading. But I also like the audiobook thing, because that's the same as Med. I used to listen to loads of tapes with my sister when I was really young. Get up, turn the tape over, flip it around.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like the audio aspect of it.
I've never had an audiobook. I need to get into that.
I almost can't sleep without it.
Really?
Yeah. And when I put it on,
It's amazing.
I'm
Isn't it?
gone.
Just shuts
Switch
your brain
off.
off, doesn't it?
Like when that woman was talking to
Yeah.
you and she gave you that CD. Maybe that is something you should get into.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think you are right. Because
Yeah.
I do, similar to you said a few weeks ago, I do struggle with sleep. So last night I was up till some stupid o'clock, so I couldn't sleep.
Thinking about things.
Think like this actually, but in
Yeah,
general,
it's pretty
thinking
similar.
about stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's just a lot going on, isn't there, in everyone's
Yeah.
life. So it does. Yeah, it affects me that way. So sleep-wise, yeah.
But definitely, I think, well, the three of us here recommend that you should try it.
Yeah.
Sleep, putting something in your ears and just
Yeah.
drift
Yeah.
it. It just takes your brain somewhere else.
Yeah, it does.
Doesn't
And you
it?
can focus on an individual story
Yeah.
instead of having all this
That's right.
crazy stuff going on. Worries, job, life,
Yeah.
lack of time, whatever
Yeah.
it may be, you know.
Yeah, because her CD was literally like that. Is something along the lines of you're on a nice long grass walking down a hill.
Ah, right,
There's a
yeah.
river below there. The trees are blowing gently in the wind, and then
Lovely.
I am gone.
3
Your
seconds,
brain,
yeah.
your brain, you can just picture it. You imagine
yeah.
it, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh yes.
I'd
Switching
love to be.
off.
I'd love
That's
to
where I
be
need to
there.
be.
like where he goes, like the main character in Gladiator, where he goes, and he's rubbing
Yeah.
his
Oh,
hand through
yeah.
the barley,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's going towards his
Home.
his wife and his home. I think they were killed or something.
That's
there.
right.
And that's
It was
his happy place, isn't it?
That's
Where he's
it.
going
Right.
there before the bar.
That's exactly right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly right. Yeah.
Bringing it back. So, yeah, sorry. To
go on.
like so, we're sort of you've met this guy, which is Sam Warburton's sort of like
Sports college.
coach. Yeah, and he's really helped you with this sort of chimp ideology and
Yeah.
stuff like that. How long before the big day of the Channel Swim was this, and then leading up to it?
That was probably, I'm gonna say July, in the July time.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
after the dreams,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, those dreams still happened, but they were nowhere near as sort of
Brutal.
intense. Yeah.
Right.
So it did help.
Oh
Yeah.
my God,
Good.
it sounded like it, yeah.
Yeah. It did really help. But I'd still wake up at night and you sort of like a bit of a jolt at the blue and you think, do I want to do this? I thought that often.
I bet you did.
Yeah.
I bet you did. Yeah.
But like I was saying, I've almost got so far, and
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I got to a point I didn't think I'd do it because of the medical. And now that had gone, I passed it. I think, right, that's actually down to me now. There's nothing.
Yeah,
There's no excuse that I can use.
The
that I
chimp in your
didn't
head
do.
was
Yeah.
probably
Channel.
thinking, the
All
chimp
those
Brian
things.
was probably thinking, right, we've got this medical now.
Yeah.
We might not be able to do it.
Yeah, yeah. I
You know,
won't do
you know
that.
what I mean? The negative
Yeah,
part
yeah,
of your
yeah.
brain, but now
Yeah.
you've gone through that. You've shut him up for that little bit
Exactly,
of time.
yeah.
You've got to go and do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's yeah. So the path is yours to tread on. The channel's yours to swim. So all those things that could have stopped me haven't stopped me. So it is down to you. The pressure's on your shoulders now, rather than you
And it's
can't
coming.
blame them for not letting me do
No,
it.
no.
Yeah.
You've got the green light.
Yeah.
It's go
It's on.
time.
It's
It's
mad.
on.
It's mad. It's
It's
a weird
go time.
sense of pressure.
So,
It's a weird sense of pressure.
so I mean, that's like the weeks and months leading up to the
Yeah.
big day. What about, like, we're talking days now away? Like, let's say, like, the week leading up to that date. Where are you in your head?
Pretty. I don't know really. I'm not relaxed by it, but I know it's coming.
Yeah.
It's
Can't forget that.
It's on its
something's
way.
coming.
Has your training ramped down? Because I know
Yeah.
a lot of people in sports, isn't it? They have like a week off before
Yeah.
the event, or it really ramps down and it's just about focusing and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
So middle of August, I did the bridge to bridge again. So the second year running, so I did that
Okay.
again. So that was 8 miles.
Yeah.
So I did that.
Okay.
How was that one? Did you just smoke that?
Yeah, well, it was good because I spoke to a coach the night before. So look, like, what should I do? The channel swims in about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
What should I do? He said just go for it. Go as hard as you can for as long as you can. Which
Really?
surprised me. I thought, yeah, go on, and we'll have a go at this.
Mm-hmm.
But that's hard because you go as fast as you can.
For 8 miles?
Yeah.
It's hard going.
Yeah.
Hard
Is that a long
going.
way?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
green again. That green, blue, and pink, the categories.
Yeah.
So I went into blue this year. That year.
you
Right, 'cause I
upgraded
knew-
one level.
I knew,
yeah.
I knew it was a bit faster, and then so just going for it, and I knew I was doing it all right because I started taking over the pink hats, and then
So the wave in front of you,
Yeah, so
you
I-
caught
I-
them up.
Oh,
doing
you
all right.
all start
I'm
at the
doing
same
all right.
time.
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
It wasn't like there you go and
No.
then there you go. You all go at the same time.
Yeah,
Right.
So I knew I was, not all of them. I passed 10,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and bizarrely my watch didn't work at all that day.
Okay.
But I think these sort of hinder you sometimes because you're more focused on going a bit faster or too slow. So you're back in like,
I love-hate relationships probably with those things.
But you want to know how far you're going as well.
With the right like mindset, maybe you can work it so it really does help you.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. But it wasn't that day. It wasn't working.
And very critical though. If you're like, drop 2-3 seconds.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then so I got to the end of it, and my wife, she sort of walked the bank the whole time, and as I got out, she said, "Have you seen the time?" I said, "No, my watch isn't working." So it's like 3 hours 20, so it's like an hour and 3 minutes faster than the other one.
No way.
It's like really. I was just fit.
Blown at that.
So him telling you to go for it, another good call.
He honestly, crazy good coach.
That's
Mark
brilliant.
Lantos, really good coach. Yeah. So did that, and then we chatted about it. I said, "Look, it's 3-4 weeks to go. What do you want to do?" I said, "Look, I want to do one more 6-hour swim, just so it's in the bank as such." So did that in a lake in Chepstow, so 6 hours, and then that was it. Then and he rung me 2 weeks before, said, "Right, you're on the taper now." So you're just going downhill. I actually started crying on the phone.
Really?
When you hit the 2 week,
2 weeks. Just start tapering.
What did you know you didn't have to train as hard?
It is, yeah.
Because I'd be thinking, I'd be wanting to cry. Like, say you're like leaving the house. You talked about this earlier. You're about to leave the house and you're going to go and do a swim. I bet there were so many occasions when you thought, I really don't want to be going. Yeah, I don't, because I'd be thinking that. I'd be thinking like, right, it's time now. I've got to go and do X amount of lengths, or I've got to go to a lake, or I've got to go to the sea, and I've got to go and do this amount.
Exactly.
I don't know.
No, you look at this sheet. That's 6,000 metres.
What? So far.
I forgot to ask you this actually when we were talking about it initially. Like, how far were you swimming per month? Did you get? Because wasn't it like an average 1 month? You did like
90,000 metres a month, 1 month.
Mad.
Yeah.
90,000.
How far?
It's long. I don't know. It's a long way.
That's crazy.
Oh, it's 90 kilometres.
90 kilometres.
Yeah. So it's like 1,600 metres in a mile.
Oh my god.
So it's mad. Yeah,
It's a
massive.
mad.
That's
massive.
unbelievable
Oh, it's
mileage, isn't it?
huge. Yeah, it's huge mileage. Yeah. Yeah, so tapering, and then but you're still swimming, but you're not doing half as much. No near half.
Yeah, you're
much
winding down.
way down.
And how did your body feel at this point? Because I'm sure you had. I remember asking Dave this question as well. I'm sure you had like niggles and little injuries and stuff like that. But how did you feel on the lead up when you were tapering on that 2 weeks? Did your body feel quite good?
Yeah, it was pretty good. But I was having sports massage every week, so my shoulders are good for that. I think good. They were in decent conditions.
Yeah.
I had a problem with my wrists, both wrists, my ankles, bizarrely, because you're doing that.
Oh
Yeah, I guess
I'm
so,
pushing
yeah.
off the wall of the pool as well. So my ankles, and my left shoulder always gave me grief, and so leading up to it, like for months. It was always my left shoulder.
Okay.
But I think that 2 weeks I focused on like sort of slow swims, more physio. So I felt, physically good.
Getting prepped for the day.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like a stone and a half heavier than, I was like almost 18 stone as well. So I was like the heaviest I've ever been, sort of bulked
You know
up.
what? That really surprised me, because I don't know anything about this, but in my brain, if I was thinking I was going to be training for something, say it makes it easier for me to think about it, say like long distance running, you're not going to be putting on mass to do a long distance run, but I guess you are maybe in a swim,
It was natural though, I think, because I bulked up more than anything.
Yeah.
Because I'm usually like 16 and a half, but then I was like 17 stone 12 at that sort of just before the swim.
Yeah.
So but my body was in good nick at the time, and so mentally I was good. I was decent.
Good.
Decent. I wouldn't say good, but decent. But you just know that's something's coming now.
Yeah.
And then and then the sort of it's weird though, because there was, again, for the world of Twitter, there was a couple of guys that I sort of chatting with, and they were swimming the window before me, the week before me, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So we'd also follow their training session. So the week before, one of them, he was a mile off the coast of France. He'd gone something like 15 hours off the coast, and went unconscious, and pulled him out.
No way.
And then this other guy, he swam 10 and a half hours. The weather changed, had to pull him out.
Do you know the reason why he went unconscious?
No,
fatigue maybe,
Yeah.
exhaustion.
That's really scary.
That's really scary.
I can understand the weather. Fuck.
Yeah, there's a guy, poor guy, Nick Thomas, name is. So I was sitting me and my wife, again, because I was training all the time, didn't do much together. So went to a restaurant and to the cinema after, and our booking was at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And so I was sitting in the car, just reading the news for 5 minutes, and the headline was, swimmer dies in English Channel. This is like 3 days before my swim is going to...
But the chimps are that.
Oh, yeah. It's horrible. I actually wrote a will. I wrote a will sort of 2 months before it because I was just so worried about it. One of the things I was sort of concerned about.
I guess it does happen. I know it's rare, but like people do
does
die running marathons.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
sure they
It's
do
very
an
rare.
Ironman. But yeah, it's very rare.
Yeah.
But when you do something quite extreme physical exertion or whatever, I suppose it's...
Yeah, because I was a bit concerned about, the thing I've got, how would it affect it? So...
For such a distance.
Yeah. So the week... So there's a lot went on in that week for other people, and the 2 guys obviously disappointed they didn't make it across.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and then it's sort of the week of the swim window, because you can go on the internet on the CSPF website where I signed up with, and they have all the trackers of all the boats that are out.
Yeah.
And the captain of the boat, Eddie, said, "Look, this is your swim window." And there was like 4 people ahead of me, something like that.
Okay.
So the guy went. This guy didn't make it. Didn't make it across.
Yeah.
Another one went out. They have to turn back because one of the crew on the boat forgot his diabetic medication. He was having sort of an issue on the boat. So it's not
fair.
No, I know. So then he texted me. He said, "Look, get ready for Wednesday night." And this is on a Monday.
Yeah.
So then we just drove down on the Tuesday then to Margate. We had like an Airbnb in Margate.
Yeah.
So we all went down there, didn't we? So it was Dave, my wife, my mum, Dave's wife, my sister, my brother-in-law. Yeah, so it was 8 of them.
And Sean.
And Sean, the support summit. So it was 8 of us, I think, wasn't it, in the house? Yeah. So it was good. So we were sort of ready for it.
Yeah.
For the Wednesday swim. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like...
It's a hell of a journey. I think
I don't know.
26 months,
yeah,
or
26 months.
Yeah, 26 months to get to this point where you're at now, where you're swimming like the next day or something, you know?
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
So, I think you wanted to ask this question, but I think I'm going to... So, did you feel ready?
Physically, yeah, massively. I did. After that bridge to bridge, I felt,
I know what Dave's alluding to. Like, basically, I think Dave might have mentioned this in the episode that we did about him and his Ironman. When it came to the day and it was crunch time, did you know you were going to do it? How confident were you that you were going to get to France?
To get across?
Yeah, to do it.
50-50. That's literally 50-50.
Yeah. Because I remember
the maximum I could say about it.
Yeah. I guess there's so many factors potentially going against you.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the weather's one of them, isn't it? They can pull you out for that.
That's it, yeah.
Unknown amount of medical conditions.
Yeah.
Something going wrong with the boat.
Seasickness, tide changes.
Yeah, exactly.
Injury.
No way. So you were sort of...
always 50, never more than 50.
Because of all the factors, I suppose.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's weird as well, because, like, you know where you're starting from.
Yeah.
But you don't know, where you want to go, but you don't know where you're going to finish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there's no one there to decide to say, "Yay, well done, you done it." There's no one there.
Yeah.
You're just on your own.
This is the beach. In the dark, maybe, and you're
crying. There's no, like, marching band with flags.
You did it, Gav.
Nothing like that. Quite a lonely place, really.
Yeah.
Well, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is a hell of a lonely sport, isn't it?
It's but we were supposed to go 10 o'clock on a Wednesday night. So we got there. I got there the Tuesday morning, Margate.
Yeah.
The plan was to go on the Wednesday night, but then the weather changed, so we couldn't go the Wednesday night.
Yeah.
And then so we rearranged it to go on the Thursday morning.
Right. Yeah.
You know what's weird about that? I never thought like, for me, I don't know. It's just maybe something to do with like the day and your brain and stuff. But I think I would rather start it in the morning. I've got no like. I don't know, it's quite surprising to hear that you might start the swim in the night. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'd like to start it in the
Yeah.
morning, I think.
Yeah.
And I'd probably rather
fresh,
finish
get up,
when it's maybe dark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, just something to do with starting the day and stuff.
No, I'd never swum the night either, so I'd never swum.
Right, okay.
But when he said, right, you're starting 10 o'clock, I said, oh, actually, that's good. Convince myself, that's good.
The night time you convince yourself?
Yeah, it's good because if I get across, I'll land in the day.
Yeah,
I know I'm going.
okay.
So I convinced myself, yeah, it's good.
Right, okay.
And then he said, no, I'm not going till the morning. So that's good. That's good. I'm starting the morning. I can see where I'm going.
Yeah. I think I'd rather the morning, even though I've got no experience in it. I think just for my brain, I think, right, cool. Start early in the morning, just get cracking on.
Yeah, just go for it. I swim. I have breakfast.
Yeah.
Just see what happens. Just see what we're going.
So let's talk about the day then. Is it because we're right there now, aren't we?
Yeah, there
Staying
now.
in Margate and
So we I suppose what did we do? We didn't sleep very well. That CD didn't work at all that last day. Completed it 5 times. Still wide awake.
Yeah. Oh man, I can imagine.
So you load yourself a pasta, tuna, and taking the seasickness tablets.
Yeah,
we all were, just to make sure we were all good. And then we got up like super early on that Thursday morning, so like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then down to the harbour then for 7 o'clock. All the bags, all the kit.
Yeah.
So you
Captain was there.
He was there, ready to go, shouting at us.
Play to him.
He was like, get moving.
Yeah, shouting at us, come on, hurry up. We got there early as well.
We did.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to get a good hit at it, didn't he? Quite
It's
early
quite
on.
good though, in a way. Like, I know it's probably a bit like, oh Jesus, but like it's good. At least he was like, let's go.
Yeah, it was good.
Let's do it.
It was it felt rushed though because we were supposed to go from a beach called Samphire Hoe.
Okay.
And then he changed it to a beach called Shakespeare Beach.
Right. Okay.
So got on the boat. So there's Dave, my wife, Sean, swimmer, sports swimmer, obviously the boat crew, and my dad. So they were all on the boat and me on the boat, and then got on the boat and I just had obviously feeling really nervous. I'm nervous.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
And then got out and told me we were there. We were actually at the beach. I'm not ready at all yet.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I guess you wanted to do your own little thing, did you?
I had a routine every time I did. I'd listen to this Cornfield Chase, Hans Zimmer, Cornfield, I think it's called it. It's like a motivational song. I'd listen to that. I'd do this warm up, talk myself, blah blah blah. I didn't have any time for any of that.
Yeah.
Get your wetsuit on.
And let's go.
Yeah, you got to go, which is great. And so you sort of jump off the boat, wetsuit onto the boat, swim to the beach, which is about 100 metres away.
Oh yeah.
So you're on the land
You
then,
got on and then you went straight back to land.
So you'll definitely go in land.
Land to land.
Yeah.
On land, and then you put your hands in the air, say I'm ready, and they sort of like go, and then they sort of stop watching, and sort of away you go. And it was a beautiful day as well. It was a stunning day.
Yeah.
It was like flat calm for quite a few hours because it's sort of protection of the sort of coastline. Yeah, so no, it was nice. It was a lovely swim, like confidence, anything. The first 2 hours, I thought, I've got this.
So the first 2 hours, you feeling pretty good.
Yeah, it just felt. It takes a long time when you're swimming. It just feels if you're gliding. Sometimes after you've been swimming for months and months and months, you feel you're gliding through the water. And I just felt I'm gliding here today. This is like big long strokes, sort of feeling strong. Yeah, feels good. It's calm. Weather's it was warm.
Come across any things in the sea?
Massive jellyfish. Massive jellyfish. As in, sort of the body as such like that, but the tentacles are huge.
You got goggles on, haven't you?
Goggles,
yes.
you can see everything.
And it was clear, I guess.
Yeah,
in the ocean.
Beautiful. You can see a long way. There's a really good sort of visibility. But because they were further out, it was choppy then. So they're about 3 or 4 foot below the sort of surface. Yeah. So I sort of, as I could see them, I was sort of float over them a little bit. I don't my hands sort of go. Yeah.
I guess I forget about that a little bit. You're swimming, and I'm imagining you looking above water for a lot of it. But I guess because you've got the goggles, you are obviously
in the water.
You're in the water, obviously, when you're putting your face in and swimming, and you can see everything.
That's it. Yeah. No, so it was going really well. The swim was going really well. Then sort of 3 hours. My right, I don't know, it felt as if someone literally just stabbed me in my sort of shoulder. I never had any problems with my shoulder, my right shoulder. It was over the left shoulder.
Yeah. All right, but it was the other one on the day.
Just completely out of the blue.
Maybe you've been overcompensating on one shoulder to protect that shoulder, and then it finally gave out maybe on the day.
Quite possibly, actually. I've not thought about that, but yeah, I think you're right there.
I've always thought it was your left shoulder.
No, the right
That's
one.
really weird.
Always struggled with this one.
Yeah, because I thought it was like an old injury there.
No, just come out of nowhere. Yeah. And then,
okay.
Yeah, so then basically so that my plan was to swim for 45 minutes, and then they call it like a feed stop. You don't stop, you sort of tread water next to the boat, don't touch the boat.
Yeah.
Your boat crew, they'll throw bottles of the tighter ropes, like a screw cap.
Yeah.
It could be energy drinks, bananas, peaches, Maltesers, anything like that. 45 minutes the first one, and then be every half hour after that.
Okay.
And it's just to maintain your calories, because you're burning so many calories off.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Maybe give you something to look forward to as well. Maybe.
Brilliant.
Did you look forward to those moments?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah, because then you think, right, I've got 10 more of them to go.
Exactly,
I've got however many more. Like little goals in your brain.
That's exactly right. It's a good thing, that, because the swim's so big, you can't say, right, I've got another 15 hours to go.
Yeah, because it sounds gross.
It is gross. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got another half hour to go to your next feed.
Yeah.
And then it's a new
And
swim.
people.
I think I'd have to break
It's
it
a
down
new
in
swim.
that way, you know.
It's a half hour swim. That's all it is. It's not a 16 or whatever hour swim.
Yeah.
It's a half hour swim. And then like the guys in the boat would have a whiteboard and put messages on it saying feed in 5 minutes, that sort of thing.
Oh, I bet you're like, yes!
Yeah. Come on.
Got to look forward to something.
Couple
Yeah.
strokes in 5 minutes, I reckon.
Yeah, exactly. And then
Nice.
so the shoulder went, and then sort of they just put like dispersible paracetamol into my next drink, and I'd have that. And so that would just go over the next few hours.
Yeah.
But why would you have the paracetamol? Or was that
Just for the pain
for your
pain,
shoulder?
because it was bad when it first started, but as it went on, it was just like unbelievable. It was like really, really painful.
What did that do to you mentally when your shoulder started to hurt? Because in your head you're thinking, this is going really, really well now. 2 hours in, I'm killing it. It's probably going better than I imagined. And then your other shoulder goes not even the one that normally goes.
I think that's your own fault for being cocky.
Like a weird, because it's going too well.
Yeah, that's your own fault. Yeah, far too cocky.
But how did you feel mentally when your shoulder was really hurting you?
Annoyed.
Angry.
Didn't want it. Exactly why now.
Why me? Why did this have to happen now?
At this point, it was. Don't get me wrong, it was painful, but I was still swimming. So you just keep going with it.
Yeah.
I think that's the sort of thing. Just keep going. But then as you keep going, it just gets worse and worse and worse. And sort of by I think it was hour 9, something like that. Because you've got to train to breathe both sides.
Okay.
So left side, right side, bilateral breathing, because the waves could be coming from that side.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So I was always
turning to face a big swell.
Exactly. Yeah. So because it was going so bad, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe from my left, and the boat was on my left-hand side. And because I couldn't breathe from my left, I was breathing to my right, and I was going away from the boat.
Yeah. Okay. Your
Yeah.
course was being a bit.
Yeah, so I wasn't looking at the boat at all, and you're paying for the boat to sort of guide you across.
Yeah, of course.
They're the route you stick to the boat,
rather
than them sticking to you.
Yeah, you could go anywhere if they're sticking to you.
Yeah. So they changed round then, went on to the other side of the boat. So the boat was on my right-hand side.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so just breathing to the right then. So
That's it.
yeah, and it didn't help it, but it sort of didn't pull as I'm breathing that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just went on for until the end really, but it was.
Well, there was a moment, wasn't there, where obviously you wouldn't have heard this, but you were, because of the pain you were getting in your shoulder, you were veering off quite a bit. So basically, you were pushing everything with that one arm.
Yeah.
And you weren't swimming in a straight line at all.
Yeah.
And you'd slowed down
Yeah.
quite a lot as well.
Yeah.
So then I think from us on the boat, we started to realise then, shit,
Something's
he
wrong.
might not actually do this. And the captain said if he doesn't speed up, we're going to pull him.
Oh. Did you give that message to Gavin?
Give him bollocking.
Yeah, because it was that. I think,
brotherly
like,
bollocking,
but I
yeah.
think you have to do that though, because imagine not telling him, and then for some reason he gets pulled. I'd be like, why didn't you tell me? I would have just gone a bit harder, or I would have.
Yeah.
We could see it. France was there.
That's another thing I was going to
Right,
ask. When did you see France, or when did you notice it? Either light? Is this in the dark?
When you did the talk, it was dark then, darkish.
It was getting dusk,
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was pretty far in.
September, so it's probably about 6 or 7 o'clock, I guess.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Something like that.
exactly.
About 9-10 hours in, I think.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it was. Yeah, it must have been 9-10 hours in. I think we could see France from about 6 hours. We could anyway from the boat. And I think I remember you on a stop.
Yeah.
One of your feeds said, "Oh my God, is that France?" And we're like, "Yeah, just keep your head down."
Yeah,
Just
and get there.
just-
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so Dave and Dad sort of did the war cry. He said, look, you got to speed up, you got to go faster, you got to go in a straight line, otherwise Eddie's going to stop it. It surprised me, actually. I didn't expect to hear that.
Yeah.
That someone's going to stop it.
Did it give you a bit of a kick up the ass?
Oh, yeah,
though?
massive, yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was sort of very... I didn't kick at all, really. Well, not much. I tend to get cramp in my hamstrings.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So, but then it sort of just ploughed on for an hour. Yeah, but that's the worst sort of pain.
Did you think the shoulder was, like yourself, was going to end your
I thought that
swim?
was, yeah. I got to a point where you're actually crying. You're swimming, you're crying in the water because it was just so painful. Like,
Yeah.
you know, if you've got like an elastic band between your fingers, you sort of cut the edge of it and it sort of starts splitting.
Yeah. Like frayed.
That's why I sort of
You imagine
visualise my shoulder.
I do that all the time if I've
Muscular.
got an injury. I imagine what it looks like.
Yeah.
I have it really bad when I'm getting tattooed.
Really,
When
yeah.
I'm getting tattooed for a long period of time, I think of horrible words like searing and
Yeah.
rip. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally relate to that. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's horrible. It was horrible. It was like you screaming in the water. I was actually screaming about Brian, bizarrely, saying, "Look, did you think this would be easy? Like, did you think this would be easy?" And just keep swimming. But generally thought that was something going to snap. It was so bad.
It's hard not to concentrate on something that's that much of a strong feeling and strong pain.
Takes
Exactly.
your focus away from your goal and you start thinking about that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And Sian, the sportswoman, she could get in every 3 hours for an hour.
Okay.
And then she got in, it was dark, and it was so bad. And I said, "Look, Sian, I don't think I'm going to be able to make this across because of this." And she said, "Look, dedicate 100 strokes to someone you know or someone who's helped you along the way. So you count to 100, that's for you, and just so that's for you, that's for you." That was pretty good actually. It sort of takes your mind off sort of things. Yeah.
To give you that push that you need to try.
It takes your mind off something. It takes your mind off it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was really painful. It was the most pain I've been in from a swim injury anyway. Yeah. But just the worst time for it as well, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been a better timing for it.
Was there a point when you'd gone quite a long way at that point and it was dark? Was there a point when you go, "Oh my God, I'm actually going to do this"?
No, I think I was a little bit disorientated at the time. I thought I was going to do it because when I thought it was close anyway. Because when the main boat you're in, they can only go so far because the water gets a bit too shallow.
Okay.
And they'll have a rib next to it.
Yeah.
And what happens? One of the crew will get into the rib, and then escort you into the beach.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's dark, it's pitch black. I could see sort of commotion on the boat, and when the guys get into the rib, I'm getting close. Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm actually getting close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a boost.
Yeah, I thought this is actually sort of it. Then he got out again.
All right. So that was a bit rubbish.
Hey, what's going on, mate?
Oh, I'd hate that.
Yeah. So I'm swimming again, and then I think he gets in again, and I just shout like, "What's happening?"
Yeah.
And then you're all just saying, "Just keep swimming."
Yeah.
It's like what is going on, sort of thing. And then they swim in, and then Sian jumped in again.
Yeah. Well, what happened was the rib that was supposed to follow Gav in to bring him off the beach when he was hoping he was going to make it, but the engine had broke.
Okay.
Yeah. So they couldn't. Just keep going, big guy.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
So what happened? Could they not bring you all the way in then?
No, the boat didn't. But
Yeah.
then something was said on the boat, and Sian was asked to jump in again to guide me into the
guide
beach.
you to the beach.
So you had like the two of you going without any vessel
That's
for the
it.
last bit to get to the beach.
However far it was.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how far it
I
was.
think it was about 500 metres. I think it was something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the boat couldn't go any further. The boat was there, 500 metres to go.
There was like these
Quite
big
long, that.
buoys or buoys or just off the beach where the big boats couldn't go any further. So that was the cue for the rib to get going. And
The rib is wrecked.
rib didn't work. Unfortunately, just one of those things.
Yeah,
It's just one of those errors. Yeah.
Yeah,
What was the beach, or what was the area of France that you were, you know?
The shortest point, like a lighthouse area. It's called Cape Gresny. Like I think it's called the Grey Cap in translation, something like that.
Okay.
So that's the shortest point from Dover to there.
Yeah.
21 miles. But then there's a beach next to called Wissant. And that's like I know now it's a sandy beach.
Yeah, and that's where you.
That's what they sort of headed me for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So she jumped in and she said, "Look, I'll guide you in. You're gonna make it. Just swim with me."
Yeah.
But
Was there anything to aim for at that point? Was it lights?
I could see a light in the distance, and I could see a light come on every now and again. I'm sure it's a lighthouse.
Right.
I'm sure I could see something come on every now and again. And but then she's swimming ahead and screaming at me to keep up, and I'm going left all the time because my arm's not working.
Yeah.
And she's saying, "Come on, swim right." I said, "I can't." But then she guides me in, and and you can see all of a sudden it gets calmer.
Yeah. Right next to the beach.
Yeah, it's weird. And then the watercolor changes because I think it's quite a clear night.
Yeah.
And the watercolor changed a little bit. And now I know it was like the sandy bottom, that bit yellowy sort of thing.
Oh my god.
My leg touches something. And Sian, you can stand up.
Oh, I bet that's the best
my
feeling
God.
ever.
Oh my god, yeah. It's quite shallow for a while, but like however many meters, 50 meters, 10 meters, whatever it was, it's just like crying.
I bet.
Oh, yeah. Just like walking, dragging yourself
Oh
out of the
yeah.
water.
Just knuckles are dragging the water behind you, sort of thing.
Yeah. F you, Brian.
Yeah.
What was I just like I try to get into your head again, but what the hell was that feeling like knowing, oh my god, I've done it?
I think it's just disbelief more than anything. I never thought it would end. I just never thought it would end. I genuinely think, looking back at it, if that didn't go, I think probably an hour and a half, 2 hours earlier, I'd have got there. Yeah. I just didn't think it would make it across because of this. It was just disbelief that I've actually made that. It was just the emotions was just unbelievable.
Yeah, I bet.
I watched the video today and I was bloody emotional again.
I did this morning. I watched it.
Did you?
Yeah, just to sort of remind me of
Maybe watch it today as
what
well.
I didn't like about it.
Well, it was just a reminder as well, though, just to show what you actually went through. Because I guess over time, well, we all do. You forget, don't you?
Oh, I do massively.
You forget big events in your life. And things
huge.
like that. It's just sort of a reminder to hell of a thing to witness.
Yeah.
Like, I'm certainly not making this about me at all, but to watch you do that was one of the most inspiring things I've ever seen. You know, it just proved that, well, apart from the birth of my kids, it was the proudest moment of my life.
It's amazing.
It really was. And it just shows that if you put your mind to something, you maybe realise you can achieve whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I think you can, to be honest. I think you really can. If you do put your mind to it, I think you'll surpass your own sort of dreams almost and expectations. It is there. If you go for it, it is there. It'll be hard, but it will be there. if you go for it,
Yeah.
No, it was tough. Like I said, it was tough, and I've never spoke about it as much as I have now. I always close the conversation off.
Yeah.
I've always found it difficult to speak about.
Do you know why? Is it because that you know that you'll be talking about yourself and you're not overly comfortable talking about yourself?
It's that. That's a major thing, and I think I know it was so close to not making it across.
Yeah.
I think I get a little bit, not emotional is the wrong word, but I get so, I'm aware of the sort of fine margins there are with things, and it almost makes me uncomfortable talking about it because I know how close it was to not being successful. So, like I said to you before we started this, if someone asks me how was it, I said, really hard. I'd never do it again, and I'd just close it off there.
Yeah, you don't want to
laugh about it, and I said that would be it because it bothered me. It bothered me before and it bothered me after. There's no doubt about it. It took me sort of bizarre. It took a long time to sort of get over it as well.
What, because it was so close to maybe you not completing it? Maybe.
And I think, as what you said earlier on, that I know that if I didn't do it, I'd have tried it again, and it would have wrecked everything. I just and when this was so bad, I was swimming and I said, "Look, you can't do this again. You can't do this again. You got to do it now. You got to do it
It's
now.
now or never.
It is now or never. I'm trying to sort of beat yourself up. You can't. Like I said, I'd repeat myself. I know that I would try it again. I couldn't afford to do it again. It cost a fortune.
It's like a once in a lifetime sort of thing.
Yeah, it costs a fortune, and time wise, it just drains you time wise. So no, it was tough before, tough after. So it sort of didn't have counting after, but like I said, after the actual the day, about a year after, we went to Wissant.
Yeah.
The beach you landed on.
The beach landed on. So sort of try to work out sort of where it was. I just slipped off to my shorts, walked out, and just sort of emotional.
Yeah, good.
I was going to cry. Sort of floated in the water.
Yeah.
In France now.
In France, in Wissant Beach. Yeah, and I just said, no, thank you.
Oh, nice, man.
For making it.
You didn't say merci.
No, merci, I know. Merci beaucoup.
Yeah,
Did
that give you, like,
a little bit
closure?
Yeah, it did. I think probably about 90% of it, closure, and you know what happened recently, that sort of put the lid on it. But that closed a lot of the sort of... It's bizarre as well, because it was so hard getting across, I imagined Wissant to be this like industrial port, like huge, like smoke everywhere, grey buildings, like a disgusting...
like a ferry port.
Like a...
Port Talbot.
No, yeah. Sorry for all the viewers of Port Talbot.
It's a lovely place.
I love it. That's how I pictured it, as in some sort of really sort of brutal place. But in the light of day, it's stunning. Beautiful gold beaches. There's surf, kite surfers there.
Yeah.
It's a stunning place.
So that's
Go on
like
holiday.
your
man.
demons almost in your brain making it out to be
Yeah,
this
hugely so. Hugely
horrible
so.
place.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
obviously it's not. So that was
I'd
good
go on
closure,
holiday there.
wasn't it?
I'd go on holiday there tomorrow if I could. Absolutely stunning.
Just going to go back to that comment then. You never actually met Owen at all, had
No.
you? Throughout the whole process?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, this is the rugby player.
Yeah, I was
player you were
never
raising the
wanted
money
to.
for.
Yeah, I never sort of asked, can I meet him? I never sort of wanted to sort of put that pressure on him. And so it never come up in conversation. It was never something I wanted to sort of. So I wanted to raise money for him, but the goal or the sort of ultimate was never to meet him. No. But yeah, bizarrely, he's in because my job moment working in Cardiff City Centre, and I was on a Teams meeting. It's supposed to be like an hour's team meeting. This bloke could talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. It went on for like an hour and 45
Always in
minutes.
Teams.
Honestly, it's too many people feel important on Teams. So there for an hour, 45 minutes, and I did a meeting then, quarter of an hour later. So I rushed out of the office downstairs. I glanced at the window, thought, recognise him. I went to get my sandwich from Tesco, and I went back past that shop, and thought, that's Owen Williams there.
Oh my gosh.
And bless him in his wheelchair with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I went upstairs, thinking, like, I'm never going to see him again.
Mm-hmm.
Put my lunch down, walked downstairs again, pretend I was on my phone, talking on my phone, and then he came out of the shop. And I said, is it Owen? I knew it was him, but I said, is it Owen? He said, yeah. So I'm Gavin, one of the guys sort of swam the channel. And we just had a chat. It was just a bizarre moment.
Amazing.
Bizarre, just fate. If that guy hadn't talked and talked and talked,
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been there.
he would never been there.
No.
Again,
Oh
fate.
my
That guy
gosh.
who helped me with that doctor, it was complete fate. And then meeting him was just a pure luck of timing. Fate again. It was just, closure, I suppose, for me as well. Just nice to see him.
That's
and,
amazing.
No, I feel for him like immensely.
Yeah,
but
I can
fair
imagine.
play to him. Like he looked in a good way. But yeah, so that was a weird set of circumstances.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, pure fate as well.
Yeah,
So,
massively so.
Yeah.
Massively so.
I mean, how we've talked about this now for almost an hour into it. How
Sorry.
No,
it's fine.
This is
No,
absolutely
totally
fine.
fine.
It wasn't about the time.
Yeah.
How do you feel now? I mean, we've talked about that in quite a bit of depth there. Probably the most you've talked about your swim, as you
ever.
said.
Ever,
Yeah. So how do you feel now after you've discussed and opened up about your demons, stuff that happened to you during the training, the pressures? Do you feel better?
Yeah. I've never mentioned. There's a few things I've never talked to anyone about before.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice to. I think part of your podcast is really important to do that as well, isn't it? So this is quite cathartic for me as well. It helps me sort of talk about those things as well.
Yeah.
Because people who do these events or whatever, it could be anything. Everyone has demons. I feel good about it. To be honest, it'd be nice to sort of talk about it.
Good.
Yeah, I said I've never talked about it before. The event or hardly the event or things you go through,
Yeah.
and you do go through a hell of a lot, like you did with your event and
Well, it's
other events.
your journey. Like Dukes was saying, there's some times where you could have gone, do you know what, I'm out. You had a few get outs there, like your medical and things, and complete hats off to keep going.
It's mum's stubbornness, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's
It's amazing.
hell of a thing.
Amazing.
Yeah, cheers.
Hell of a thing to
Is there
achieve.
anything that you wanted to talk about, whether it's your swim or not? Is there anything else that you think maybe we haven't covered in it, or that you wanted to say, or
I don't think so. From my point of view, no.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think we covered a great amount to be
Yeah.
honest,
Yeah.
about it all.
I do want to know what his favourite film is, though.
Good
I
idea.
want to know. I want to know about his favourite moment in that film as well.
Oh,
Put you on the spot right there.
that's a good one.
A couple of favourite films. One of my favourite films is Stand By Me, and favourite song as well.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
BB King.
nice.
I forgot about that film.
Yeah,
That's a great film.
Yeah.
That's an amazing.
That's one of my
With,
favourite
This is
films.
important
River-
growing up film.
River Phoenix is in it, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's an amazing film.
Dreyfus is in it. He's the guy in typewriter, isn't he?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I love Blood Diamond.
I love
Really?
Yeah.
One of the
That's
more
one of your top ones.
modern
Love-
ones.
love-
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think
That
I've only
is a
seen
really
that
good
once. I just remember that one bit when they shout like that, when I think he picks up the diamond, doesn't he? And you know he's got it.
Yeah, yeah.
That guy just goes, stop!
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And they're all looking
It's
around, he's
horrible.
trying to hide it,
It's
and then hit his
horrible,
foot or something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great film, man. Jennifer Connelly as well. always had a thing for it after Labyrinth, so she's in it. Leonardo DiCaprio.
She hasn't aged at all.
Yeah.
She hasn't aged at all. Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah. Top Gun is up there, one of the best films.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
as soon as that song comes on, as the curtains opens, and it goes boom.
Yeah.
Yes!
I remember telling you, I was
Straight away.
like, Gav, you're gonna love it. 'Cause I went to go see it like 2 nights prior to you guys ever, and I was telling you and your dad,
That's
and I
it.
was like, it's amazing.
It is amazing.
You're gonna love it.
Oh,
It's amazing,
such
yeah.
a good
You're gonna
film.
They, I believe they set themselves up for failure by making a second one, but they nailed it.
Oh, yeah,
Nailed it.
Absolutely nailed it.
And you can see why they waited for the cinema as well, because that would have been nowhere near
Cinema
as good. Just watching
experience.
it.
Hey, really good though.
It's all a fuss about.
It's like I'm flying the plane. It's like I'm me.
Yeah.
No, that's a
Yeah.
fucking brilliant film.
Yeah, it is quality. No, it's quality.
Yeah.
No, I'm all good.
Look, I guess from all three of us, thank you for sharing everything, Nick.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
No,
That
thanks
was
for inviting me.
amazing.
Thanks
Really
for inviting
enjoyed
me.
listening to it.
No, I think well done, all three of you, for what you're doing as well. 'Cause I know it's going to help a lot of people. Genuinely, it's going to help a lot of people. Because everyone you've done so far, I can relate to every single one. There's something you said. There's that rings about it. So no, but honestly, take my hat off towards you. So I hope it goes bigger and stronger every month now. So keep going for it. It's good, really, really good.
Yeah.
So take my hat off to you.
Hopefully you'll think about this in the coming days, because I know one of our other guests, Lee, does, and hopefully, you've gotten some things off your chest.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you'll feel good about it over the next couple of days and think about it.
No, I will, 100%. Like I said, there's things I've said to you guys that I've never told anyone. So it's it's a big thing for me. So
You
thank
should be
you.
very, very proud of what you did.
No, thank you.
Very,
Thanks
very
for being
proud.
there.
No,
No,
really
appreciate
Inspired
it.
a lot of people.
It
Thanks,
was-
boys.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, it's been a good one.
Thank
Okay, nice one.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
See you again.